Thanks for tuning in to Dominating Your Investments today. I'm Don Rinaldi, and today we're going to actually do a viewer request from Joseph Liu from Twitter, and he asked me to do our 5P review on Coinbase. And I am not well versed at crypto at all. So this was a new experience for me. It allowed me to dive into Coinbase and the crypto world. Um, don't have any exposure really to any cryptocurrencies. I know it's a big trend and something that will play a big role in our future with the blockchain. There's a lot of different coins out there. Um, but this one intrigued me because this is actually one of Cathie Wood's largest holdings, and they are FDIC insured. And it's kind of a different angle, more of a picks and shovel type of investment for crypto, as at least I understood it beforehand. I am not a crypto expert. I'm leaning on you guys to help educate me. So please provide any feedback in this video, comments, hit me up on Twitter. This is a whole new area of expertise that I do not have, but would like to learn more about. And we're going to see how Coinbase scores on the 5P review. Now, the 5P review is a qualitative scorecard, okay? So it's on people, it's on problem solving, and also how large that TAM is of the problem being solved, the total addressable market, the platform, the profitability or path to profitability in the next 3 to 5 years, and predictive revenue, right? We want reoccurring revenue and high gross margins for these 5Ps. And is it sustainable as well? So we're going to review that. It's going to be a short overview, but I will tell you through my findings, this is something I want to dive in. So once again, these are the 5Ps that we're going to be going over for Coinbase. So let's jump in first to people. Let's look at the leadership team. Let's see if they have a founder CEO. Let's see what the company culture is reviewed at for Glassdoor and their insider ownership. Okay, so here we're on Glassdoor, and you can see we have an 82% recommend to friend for working there on 272 reviews. That's really not bad at all. Actually, that's really good. 89% approve of the CEO, Brian Armstrong, who is also the co-founder. So he founded this company, and he's the leading CEO. He's only 38 years old, seems very ambitious, very smart guy, and 4.3 rating for his company. Now, they don't have a lot of, or really any awards listed yet that I could find on Glassdoor. They do have a high level rating for diversity and inclusion at Coinbase, but I don't see anything when we look at, and we can see here some, interview reviews. I think take those with a grain of salt because there's not that many. But I didn't see any actual awards here under accolades. Doesn't mean that they don't have any. I just couldn't find any going through very quickly. So overall, from a cultural standpoint, looks pretty strong. They're a global company. So you look at all the different regions, and for the most part, pretty high scores. So that bodes very strong for that first thing around that first score for people. Do they get the check mark for that? So I would say they have the leadership, and the reason I can go back to the leadership overall is because if you go to their website and you go to their IR investor relations piece here, you can see they have these videos around what is Coinbase, what is their commitment to security, what is their advantage, what is their business model. Overall, I mean, all of these, their CFO, their CPO, their chief security officer, all of these employees really seem strong and deliver the message very concise and effective. And just with their backgrounds, it really seems like he has a strong leadership behind Brian to drive this company forward. And the results have been very promising so far as going IPO this past year. So I would definitely say leadership is there, company culture is there. Let's see about inside ownership. So I'm going to go to my little handy dandy Simply Wall Street. And we can see here that we do have institutional investing at 27, almost 28%, but we also have individual insider ownership at 22%, and Brian has 16.2% of that. So that gets me excited. That checks that last part of the box for inside ownership. There's skin in the game with alignment to shareholders. That excites me. It also excites me that there's not a lot of institutional ownership just yet because we're early in the investing for crypto economy. So there's future upside. You can see, the retail general public's a little more bullish on it. So overall, we're going to give them that first check for sure. Now let's look at problem solving and do they solve a large total addressable market? And I'm just going to jump straight into this one as a big fat yes. You look at what they're trying to accomplish from a free and open financial market. In fact, let me find their vision and mission statement because I thought it was very concise and very effective. So definitely going to give them the checkbox for people with their leadership, their company culture, and inside ownership. And moving on to problem solving that impacts a large total addressable market. Their market that they're going after is the world. You look at their mission statement, and our mission is to increase economic freedom in the world. Everyone deserves access to financial services that can help empower them to create a better life for themselves and their families. If the world economy ran on a common set of standards that could not be manipulated by any company or country, the world would be a more fair and free place, and human progress would accelerate. So I like the overall global mission. There's problems in many country economies from a currency perspective. So I would say they're going after some serious problems. And then there's just these challenges of even buying, selling, trading, exchanging cryptocurrencies, the security around cryptocurrency, as well as investing institutionally. And so we'll see through their results that they've actually done a great job of delivering on those. So I'm going to just quickly give them the check. Obviously, I need to dive in deeper on Coinbase, but I'll give them the first two checks there. Once again, this is very qualitative in this review. Now, the next one that was really interesting, and they hit home on all those videos earlier, was they have a flywheel business model. So it's a very platform-focused ecosystem type of business model, which I like. I look for companies like that have a superior product, which we haven't really claimed that or seen that yet. We could say that they maybe have a superior product because they have 11% of all crypto currency that is being exchanged and being traded in the overall market. So they have 11% of all crypto assets. That would lead to say that, hey, institutions are investing with them. Retail, we've seen the growth through their charts. So maybe there is some superior brand there. They do hint on trust being their number one driver on their business because this flywheel doesn't work if their customers don't trust them. And you can even see it right here. Adding more customers, then getting more assets on the platform. They believe that once you start purchasing, selling, or storing crypto in your wallet, in your Coinbase wallet, that you will then be easier to sell to and have interest in other assets within the platform. And then innovative financial products. So one of those products is their more subscription-based services and revenue, which is staking crypto, where just for holding your crypto in a wallet with them and basically keeping the currency liquid, right? This keeps everyone holding on their crypto, as I understand it, right? Keep me under fact checked here on if that's how it kind of works, but you get an interest rate that you're getting for holding this crypto. And so that's called staking your coins. And so those are on a subscription-based model. And so they understand that they can't live off their main revenue model forever on transaction fees, because eventually I'm sure the transaction fees will go away or they'll be extremely low, but it's all about reoccurring revenue and subscription services. And what they're doing right now is spending a lot of money on sales and marketing to gain market awareness, gain brand, gain more business, so that way they can then feed that flywheel for their subscription services. And then I'm going to say brand wise, internally, their NPS score, I think you saw it earlier pop up, was 27. So Gartner says anything over 20 is favorable, over 50 is excellent. So you can see some of their competitors actually have better NPS scores. So I was really tempted to give them a half a point on platform because of the brand piece there. But for now, I'm going to give them a full check, but that could easily go away quickly because I'm not sure as to what defensive moat they have, what that competitive advantage, if they have a whole bunch of patents protecting their technology, or just that they have this first mover advantage so people trust them more than some of these other providers here. So that would be a concern for me. Now, one of the things that really shocked me was they're profitable. Like, I couldn't believe that they are. I knew that they had a large market cap, when they went public, and this is close to what they went public at now with the drop. $54 billion market cap, a forward PE of 32.9, current PE of 18.9. So that tells us that some margins are going to decrease. Maybe they don't expect as much transactions on crypto. We obviously have a lot going on in the economy right now. But overall, I mean, the year-over-year sales at 477% for the last trailing 12 months. I mean, overall, the numbers financially look really, really good, and they're already profitable. They have been around since 2012, and it's coming up on 10 years, but they've only been public for, I believe, a year. So overall, really impressed with that piece. Give them the check mark for profitability and high revenue growth. And their gross margins are essentially basically 100% because of the fact it's really all those transaction fees. So here you can see in the highlights, just last quarter, I mean, 316% year-over-year revenue growth, $1.3 billion. We saw in the little quarterly earnings note that 145 million of that was the subscription-based revenue. The rest was all in the transaction fees. So you can see here, EBITDA 505 million. I mean, they're profitable. They have great margins. Net income margin at 31%, and the year-over-year growth at 615% on diluted EPS. So they're growing profits. The fee structure is working out for now. That's kind of the question, right? Like, what's the game plan? Well, we kind of know the game plan. It's getting people to subscription, but can they do it fast enough before fees get lowered? So that would be my concern, once again, going back to that. And then lastly, do they have predictable revenue and predictable margins and sustainable growth? And I would say this is just extremely volatile. So you have to have a very long mind for investing in this company and a long view. I have 5 shares, I think, of Coinbase. I just bought them last week because I'd heard enough great investors that I really respect highly in FinTwit and in the investor community in general talk about this company being a safe way to get exposure to crypto for the long term, right? I think this is going to be extremely volatile. You've already seen it with the shares going from like 360 back down to 250. I'm in it for the long haul. So I do want to slowly add to my position and understand this business more. As you guys heard me say earlier, this is not my area of expertise. In fact, this is anything far from. This is, a lot of other great investors in FinTwit know crypto very well. I've worked with some previous in the past. Shout outs to Anthony Ohayon and Avi Mash and Riley McAdams as well. So I just still want to get more into this, but overall, I was excited with just the level of detail that the CEO, Brian Armstrong, put through in his shareholder letter. I mean, it is just unbelievably detailed and walking people through in a way that they can understand what's going on with Web 3.0 and internet and crypto adoption, and it just really breaks down a lot of different things. So I'm going to do a deep dive eventually on Coinbase because I am very intrigued. This is an area I need to study up on and learn a lot more about. But let's take it back to the scores and see where they finish on the 5P score review. Okay, so people, we said definitely they get the full check right there. 22% inside ownership, company culture looks good on Glassdoor, founder-led leader, all in all strong. Problem solving, they're going after some of the most complicated problems in the finance sector for the world, in creating an open, free market that really promotes an easier way to transact finances. Platform, they have the Flywheel platform ecosystem. It does breed optionality, but is it strong on the brand? NPS was 27, a little higher than 20, which is that favorable mark, but some of their competitors were in the high 50s. So I'm going to give them the check mark, but I really am close to doing a half check and maybe even an X at some point if we don't see more of that subscription revenue growing. But I have a feeling we will see that. Profitability, they already are. I mean, they're already profitable. I can't believe that they're already profitable on the first year being public. Granted, it is a 10-year-old company, but they've been very fiscally responsible when it comes to the overall finances of the business and thinking this through. So we don't have to say the next 3 to 5 years. Now, profits are scheduled to decline. So already are they thinking about how they're going to combat the fee structure challenges that the industry may have with crypto? As we know, like with stocks, there used to be fees. Now there's no fees in buying stocks. And I would assume we'd see the same with crypto eventually. And then lastly, predictable revenue. Can we have high confidence in the gross margins and sustainable growth? And I'm going to have to say no. I really don't know where the market is going from one day to the next with crypto. Now, over the long term, am I bullish on crypto as a whole and the concept of blockchain? Yeah. I think 10, 15 years from now, there's going to be aspects that touch everybody's life. Is Coinbase going to be the platform that everyone operates off of? I hope so. I got a little money with them, but I need to really dive in deeper before I can say anything's predictable of nature. They have a good past track record for the last 2 quarters. It did dip in growth last quarter. It could spike back up or dip further, right? They're just very unpredictable. It's very volatile. Brian Armstrong, the CEO, comments on just crypto in general being that. So for now, I can't give them a perfect score. This is a very volatile stock and concept anyways in general to invest in. But overall, was extremely pleased with the first glance over and going through the 5P score. Overall, I was very pleased with where Coinbase finished, and we'll be following it closer and doing a deep dive eventually on the channel. Thank you for joining me today and watching the 5P review on Coinbase. This definitely is a new area for me to look into from an investment perspective. Hopefully this was entertaining and useful and helpful and just educational and learning a little bit about cryptocurrency and what Coinbase platform does for its customers. And I hope to do a deep dive on Coinbase soon so we can understand further on what we can expect in the future for Coinbase. I think it could be a bright one. We'll see. So please leave your comments. Give me suggestions on any other stocks you want to see on a 5P review, as well as just, was I accurate on everything on Coinbase? Because this is definitely a new stock for me to go over. I definitely want to get it right. And any questions you have, definitely want to address those as well. So if you like the video, hit the like button. Really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe so we can get more videos like this produced at a faster rate for you guys and monetize this channel. So thank you very much and have a blessed day.